Alrighty, what's up everybody, Peter Gilmore here for another video right here on the Peter Gilmore YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Gilmore. Thank you for watching this video, my second video of the night, of the day, whatever you want to call it, on this channel. I just did my Ring of Honor review, so after you watch this video, watch my Ring of Honor review, and have fun with it, and give it a thumbs up, and share it all over the internet. Alright, so like this video, share it all over the internet, subscribe to this channel and all my other channels. You know the gist already, so fucking do it. But if you're new here, subscribe to this channel, all my other channels, links are down below. Friend me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and share this video all over the internet. Alright, on this late Thursday night, I'm getting ready for the big snowstorm here in the Northeast. Supposedly getting about 8 to 12 inches, maybe a little bit more. On Saturday with a blizzard. We got blizzard warnings out in the Northeast. Oh, it's just a mess. I'm still hoping it goes out to sea, but you know, what are you gonna do? I guess all day Saturday and maybe a little bit of Sunday I'm gonna be shoveling. So you gotta do what you gotta do to clear up the driveway and the road so people can, you know, walk down the street and everything. So it is what it is. Alright, as the title below says, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your so far out of date NXT review for January the 20th, January the 20th, 2016, from Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. And another solid show from NXT, the best brand out there right now, because SmackDown sucks, Raw sucks. What else do you want? So, like I said, it was a solid show. It starts off with our first match of the night, Sami Zayn taking on Adam Rose, the party foul. You know, the party pooper, I should say. Decent match. They lock up, and Adam Rose goes behind Zayn. Zayn reverses it. Hits a standing armbar to Rose, and then Rose stands up and pushes Zayn into the ropes, and Sami springboards over Rose and tosses him to the mat with another arm drag. So Sami Zayn was in control for most of the match, yes.
I brought you rolls, got roll butter.
That's nice. We're stocking up for the storm and everything. So whatever this was. So like I said, Sami was in control for most of the beginning of the match. Rose hits a cheap shot onto Sami before picking up an inverted atomic drop. Sami tries to fight his way back, but ends up eating a few stiff chops and the kitchen sink. Rose was trying beating him up, and with every move, everything he had. So then he Irish whips Sami into the ropes, but Zayn goes up and over to the apron. He mounts the top rope. Rose tossed him off into the ring. And then Adam Rose goes up top and lands a diving headbutt for a 2. So it looked like Adam Rose is about to pull off the upset, but we don't know how this ends. He goes for a haymaker right hand, but Sami Zayn reverses into the Koji clutch for the submission victory, as Sami Zayn builds momentum into next week's triple threat match for the #1 contendership to Finn Balor and his NXT title. And which is going to be Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin versus Samoa Joe. So let's see what happens with that. So decent match. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we go backstage with Rich Brennan, and his guest is Johnny Gargano, who has a main event match for Johnny Gargano. He basically tells us that Samoa Joe doesn't intimidate him. He refers him as the schoolyard bully, and he's like, "What do you do to bullies? You punch him in the mouth." And he says he's gonna beat Samoa Joe, and yeah, and that's basically it. So we'll see what happens in the main event with Johnny Gargano and Samoa Joe later on tonight. Alright, we go to commercial, we come back, and we see Jason Jordan and Chad Gable outside of Full Sail University, and they're talking amongst themselves, talking about, all the other teams they beat they beat Dash. Well, they didn't beat Dash and Dawson yet. So, and they're talking about how they got robbed of being the tag team of the year last year. Not winning the award. And they talk about Blake and Murphy, and they challenge him to a match next week. So we'll get that on the program. And then they keep talking and making fun, and then they call them. They coined a new tag team name, which is now called the American Alphas, or American Alpha, whatever you want to call it. And then they said they're ready, willing, and able that they're gonna win the match next week. So we'll see what happens next week with American Alpha. So I gave that and the Johnny Gargano segment 3 out of 5 stars. Alright, so after that, we go to our second match of the night. Apollo Crews taking on the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. Decent match to start. It was what it was. Dillinger locked in a wrist lock, and then Crews tried to roll out of it, but Dillinger keeps putting Crews back down on the mat. So Crews was Dillinger was in control for a little bit, and he does a cartwheel out of a side headlock, and then he does the perfect 10. I had to do it twice because I can't do it with my other hand. Crews comes out of that with a high standing drop kick, and then Dillinger tries to come back with a neck breaker, but Crews reverses into a delayed vertical suplex on a Michael Elgin. And then Ty rolls to the outside. Apollo falls, but Dillinger tripped him on the apron. And then Ty Dillinger hits a nice dive to the outside with a flying clothesline. Then he hits his finisher, which I don't know, and I really don't care what it is. But somehow Apollo kicks out. And then Dillinger places Crews on the top rope, but Crews kicks Dillinger right in the face. And then he hits a sick-looking spear to Ty Dillinger and almost beheads him with a leaping enziguri. Then hits the atomic bomb for the win. And that's it. So, Apollo Crews gets the win. The match I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. Afterwards, Apollo challenges Finn Balor to a one-on-one match. He doesn't want a title shot. He just wants, because he doesn't deserve it right now. Understandable. Because he didn't earn it. Yeah, actually you did, and then you lost. But he just wants a one-on-one match with Finn Balor. So we'll see if Finn Balor accepts the challenge and when that'll be. Probably be next week, but we shall see. So I gave the whole thing 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we go backstage with Rich Brennan again, and he has Blake and Murphy and the lovely Alexa Bliss, with her sick like me little glove. And they're basically talking amongst themselves, and and then Alexa Bliss basically berates Blake and Murphy for losing at TakeOver, and humiliating her again. So I don't know where this is going. Maybe Alexa Bliss face turn, or I don't know. Again, but who knows? Who cares? So I give that 3 out of 5 stars. All right, then we get to our next match: Baron Corbin taking on the debuting Rich Swann. If you don't know who Rich Swann is, he's fought in CCW, he's fought mostly in PWG, and that's basically it. So, his debut match, and he put up a good fight against Baron Corbin. Swann, he kicked Corbin in the leg a few times, trying to disable the big man's legs, but Baron Corbin won with the Deep Six, which is I guess spinning side tiger bomb slam or whatever it is. But give credit where credit is what? Or what? I have it right here. Oh. No, you can't borrow it now. In a little bit. Patience, my young friend. So, yeah. So, gotta give credit to Rich Swann for putting up a good fight against the taller and stronger Baron Corbin, but in the end, Baron Corbin wins, and he goes into next week's triple threat match for the #1 contendership to Finn Balor's heavyweight title, and we'll see what happens. You know, personally, I think Baron Corbin is gonna win the match and then beat Finn Balor for the title, and then Finn Balor is gonna go up to the main roster. But I think he's gonna stay, and then when the Bullet Club comes down, Gallows and Machine Gun Carl Anderson, he's gonna form a little thing in NXT with the Bullet Club, and then maybe to go up to the main roster. Maybe they'll get AJ to be put in, but we'll see what happens with that. So, the match was decent, so I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, then we get to our next match. Bayley and her #1 contender for her title, Carmella, the Queen of Staten Island, taking on Emma and Alexa Bliss. Typical Divas match. It wasn't a bad match. Before the bell, Emma tosses Carmella to the outside, and then Emma and Alexa beat the living crap out of Bayley. After the bell rings, we see Bayley holding her ribs, so she might have injured ribs or something like that. But she finished the match, and basically after we go to break, we come back, and Emma and Alexa are still beating up on Bayley. Bayley almost makes it to Carmella, but Emma knocked her off the apron, and this fires up Bayley. And she's looking for a comeback, but gets tossed to the mat head first. Then Emma hits the Emma sandwich in her corner for a 2. Then she hits a double underhook suplex for another near fall. And eventually Bayley gets the hot tag to Carmella, who takes out both Emma and Alexa Bliss. She hits the downward spiral on Alexa, which a move we haven't seen in a while. Then she transitions that into her leg scissor finisher. Leg scissors for a finisher, right? For the win. So Bayley and Carmella pick up the win. Oh, there was a segment with was that after? I think it was after. Let me see. No, it was before. There was a segment before the match with Bayley and Carmella. They were talking and blah blah blah. And then Dash and Dawson come in and they basically berate Carmella. For every time Enzo and Cass come up for a big title match, they lose, and they say it was going to be the same with Carmella and her matchup with Bayley, and then they said something, and Carmella tried to go after them, but Bayley stopped her, and then she tried to calm her down, and then they both hugged, and this is what it is. So Bayley and Carmella win the tag match. I gave 2.25 out of 5 stars, and it was what it was. What are you going to do? Alright, then we go to the back, where we see Rich Brennan again. This time he has Finn Balor, the heavyweight champion of the world. And he basically accepts Apollo Crews' challenge. And we're going to get that match next week on the show. So, Finn Balor, Apollo Crews 2 next week on NXT. So, it should be a pretty good match. So, we've got a stacked card next week. We got the triple threat #1 contenders match for Finn Balor's NXT title. And Finn Balor in action against Apollo Crews. So, we'll see what happens with that. Alright. Then we get to the main event. Samoa Joe taking on Johnny Gargano. PWG Dream match. Match wasn't that bad. Joe forces Gargano into the corner and hits the face wash. And then with his wrist instead of the usual face wash with his boot into the Yakuza kick, which he steals from me. Bastard. And then the referee has to break it up. And then he does the same thing in the other 2 corners. And then Johnny Gargano attacks Joe, but Joe just like, alright, get out of my way, And then Gargano kicks Joe in the head, and Joe rolls to the outside. Gargano's about to hit a suicide dive, but Joe sweep the leg down your son, causing Gargano to land face first on the apron. Ow! That has to hurt. Then they get into a slap fight, but Joe sweeps the leg again. Sweep the leg down your son. And then Gargano lands face first on the mat. Joe hits a running boot to send Gargano to the outside. And Gargano gets in at 9.75. Almost gets counted out. And then Joe hits the Joe special, you know, the slaps, and then the running kick into the senton. Well, Gargano shocks Joe with a springboard DDT. He tries to dive through the ropes, but Joe kicks Gargano in the chest. They go back in the ring, and Joe locks in the Coquina Clutch for the win. And he builds more momentum going to the triple threat match next week. So all three men in the triple threat match were in action. All three men won. So we're going to see what happens next week on the program. Who becomes number one contender. I'm thinking it's going to be Baron Corbin, but, you know, I could be wrong. I usually am, but it is what it is. So, all in all, pretty... by the way, I gave the match 3.25 out of 5 stars. It was pretty decent at best, but it is what it is. So, all in all, another solid edition of NXT. And next week, we'll find out who the number one contender is for Finn Balor's NXT title. And we move on from there. So, all in all, a decent episode, solid 7 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of NXT this past Wednesday night on the WWE Network. And as we roll into the Royal Rumble, we'll see what happens with that. So, 7 out of 10 stars for NXT. Leave your comments. And if you have any questions regarding NXT, WWE, the main roster, TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, PWG, CCW, FSW, Five-Borough Wrestling, anything in the world of the indies and all of wrestling itself, leave a few questions down below. You have up to 4 questions you can ask me. So start sending in those questions. I really want to hear from you guys, and because I want to give back to all my subscribers. And if you don't like it, I know some people do. They're all jealous little bitches, but it is what it is. So, you know, that's all I gotta say about that. So, start sending in those questions, and I'll answer them on a future Q&A. And that's pretty much it. So, thank you all for watching. Hit that subscribe button down below, as we near 200 subscribers on this channel, about 34 away, 35 away. So, let's get to 200, hopefully by the end of February, and we move on from there. So, thank you for watching. I'm tired as fuck right now. I took a nap around 6:30. I got up at 9:30, and then now I'm at 8, and then now I'm tired again. That is what it is. So what are you going to do? Alright, so thank you all for watching. 7 out of 10 stars for NXT. Leave me your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments section. Subscribe to my channel and my other channels down below. Follow me on Twitter and hit up the Facebook fan page. I got my main page back, so check that out. If you just type in Peter Gilmore, you'll find me somewhere. And that's pretty much it. So thank you all for watching. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. You should too, unless you're in the Pacific time zone. Then enjoy the rest of your night. Have a great Friday. I'll be back on... Actually, I'll be doing a special video response to a couple of videos from my good buddies Jeff the Iceman and Boston Fan 79 Chris tomorrow on the Peter Gilmore Rant channel, PG Rants. And then Saturday, you know, since I got nothing to do besides shovel snow, I'm going to do my TGC 13 with my Royal Rumble predictions. And then Sunday is the Royal Rumble review on this channel. As always, the best of WWE and TNA pay-per-views, if there is any TNA pay-per-views, but it is what it is. So, thank you all for watching. Go to sleep if you're in the Northeast. Stay up if you're in the Pacific time zone. And have a great Friday, a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!